you're dealing with enlargement of the heart. You're dealing with lipid profiles out of whack. So while you're not going to inject a steroid and die immediately,
Right.
it does lead to cofactors or comorbidities that will kill you. So I think that when someone's getting into bodybuilding or any kind of sport where you have to augment your performance or whatever, that you need to look at the pluses and the minuses and everything involved and if it's worth it for you. And even athletes, like you don't see many NFL players, big guys living a long time, because even if you're an NFL lineman, you're still obese. You know, you're still putting a lot of stress and wear and tear on your body. And you know, so you just got to look at the bigger you are, the sooner you fall. And bodybuilders are really big, and combine that with ventricular hypertrophy, and you have issues. So my whole thing is, you know, you look at that, and bodybuilding has gone that route, unfortunately. But you know, at the end of the day, when we watch football, there's a big hit on a kickoff. Right, I was watching the Tampa Bay game. And there was a big hit. It was actually, the play was called back anyway. And I'm like, that's what people want to see. But no one, when that guy hit the guy, is like, oh no, he might get CTE later. Like, we want to watch the hard hits. We want to see the home runs.
And listen to this.
Yeah.
My buddy John Wellborn played in the NFL for just shy of 10 years. His 10th year, he was just kind of done with all the injuries. But he was told, I can't remember who said it to him, if it was a head coach, but they said, listen, football is a violent fucking sport run by rich white people who want to see people hurting each other. And he's like, that's the truth of it. And so I coach also at a high school, strength and conditioning. And our football meeting with all the parents, I said to them, I'm a dad with 2 kids, and my job is to protect your kids. And the way I could protect your son in football is I need to get him stronger. I need to put on muscle, like a suit of armor, body armor. And I need to get your son like grit, toughness. And I said, that being said, the training is going to be tough. It's going to be demanding. And that is the only way I can protect your son. And so today I see my football coach, and a kid I used to train in middle school took a bad tackle or tackled somebody and had to get back surgery. And this is a kid who does the right training. And so you even have a high risk there. And then you were mentioning CTE, not far from Diamond Gym. There's 2 schools in that area where one kid died on the field. The other one died in his sleep from concussions, kind of gone, like being dismissed, like tough it out. And so here's what's happening, fellas, is in sports. And you mentioned you have a daughter. So my kids, I have
2 sons and a daughter. One plays football, one wrestles. They all play soccer, and then my daughter's soccer.
Yes. So they're like high school age.
So I have 2 high schoolers and a 9-year-old. So my 9-year-old's the one who plays football. He's the big one.
Yep.
Then the little one, the smaller boy, wrestles, but he's a sociopath. So he's meant for wrestling.
Yeah.
Right? So
what's happening with sports is we're seeing, because of the highly organized, like all the clubs, is you don't have a middle ground where kids could show up and say, hey, I'm going to try baseball for the first time in high school. You have kids that have been playing baseball since age 5 getting cut from a freshman team, because you got other kids that have been with a strength coach since 6th grade playing baseball year round. Same thing in football. The kids who are starting, most of them are very fast, very powerful. And then you have kids that are like on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. You have kids showing up for freshman football, unable to do 1 push-up. Now, with kids like that, and I remember you were on Marc Bell's podcast a bit ago, but I remember Marc saying that one time a kid came to his gym to train at Super Training. Maybe it was a high school kid or somebody in the early 20s. And he's like, man, like, you're not even going to be able to do any of this stuff. He didn't have machines. He's like, you should join a gym for 3 months and just do every machine in that gym for like sets of 10 to 15 to build muscle. Because when you have no muscle, if I put a bar on your back, you're going to be like a tree in the wind. You won't even know what to do. And so that kid should leg press, leg extension, leg curl, chest support, all the hammer strength machines, cable, like just build muscle for 3 months. But, there's all this information, there's your YouTube channel, there's a gazillion other YouTube channels giving them the blueprint, but people are still not doing it because eventually I think you got to go within and like watch Rocky 3 and just say, I'm going to fucking run and do push-ups. And what else did he do? Military press and jumping with a log. Like
Rocky 4 if it's snowing, of course, because you got
those two movies
and the Cold War.
Like do some of that shit. But guess what? You have, high school kids saying to me, I can't squat I always squat narrow because my hips are built this way. Then you find out the kid, watches like Dr. Mike Israetel's videos. And I'm like, bro, fucking less YouTube and more lifting.
Yeah. And the thing is, there's different methodologies. Like I love Mike. Mike's a good guy. I actually competed at USA's with him where I got my pro card, but he didn't get his. So I guess I'm right. He's not. No, but Mike, his physique's funny. He's just a big, strong dude.
And he's funny. I will give him that. He is so fucking funny.
His advice is for hypertrophy. It's for hypertrophy based on his data and methodology.
Right.
However, like I'm not doing a Smith machine controlled squat for hypertrophy for football. 100%. I'm not doing it. So like they're using essentially they're overloading the hell out of the muscle and they're big on what we kind of shit on at the beginning of this episode. They're big on the machines, the controlled range of motion.
Which is what I did in high school. And I looked big and was not fast. And I had a lot of injuries because
it's a fixed plane. Like you're nothing on the field is fixed. I want to have some chaos. I like we got those little blaze pods things. It's controlled chaos. You got lights going off, you got sounds going off, you got to remember what to do. So what's going on the field, you have fans cheering, whatever sport you're in.
Or
you have your mom yelling at you. You go to a Ravenwood versus Brentwood Battle of the Woods. That's a big deal. There's literally, they have their student section literally talking shit about you until you cry.
I've seen those. People think that's like, I actually tell kids, I'm preparing you for when you go to the away game or the away match when they're like, hey, your sister's hot. Do you have a hot mom? Like they will scream that shit.
You're preparing for battle.
We're in Brentwood, Tennessee. There's a good amount of hot moms here. So that's usually me asking that question.
It's funny.
It's funny this is a talk about ADHD. I said to my wife last night, so our kids play football here. I'm like, the football moms are kind of hot out here. She goes, what are you saying? I'm like, I was just making an observation. I'm just saying.
Just stating the facts.
You've been at the games. I told her, I told you, because I'm like, Bryce, like,
I'm just saying what Bryce said.
Women are hot. So I had to blame it on you.
That's fine.
And I didn't blame it on you. I'm like, dude, I told Bryce, I'm like, I just want what I was saying, what I meant to get at, which sounded like I was just a complete sicko. What I was getting at is these women are probably more health conscious, which means they'll probably want their kids to train with us more. Right. But it came off as I want to have sex with all the moms. I thought I was going to get stabbed. My wife's Italian.
Get stabbed for those things.
Yeah.
My wife's Italian, but she can't stab me on Rosh Hashanah Eve.
That's right. Wait for tomorrow.